I'm going to introduce Marissa.
All right.
Who is Marissa Griffith from Nathan Griffith General Contracting, and she is part of our Business Education Committee, and she has been instrumental in bringing our presenter today to us. So we're going to let Marissa, or ask Marissa, to please introduce our speaker.
All right. Hello, everybody. So glad you are all on. Today we are welcoming Dennis Masella of WSI Internet Advisors. I've known Dennis for about 4 years, and he's been in business for 17 years. As an internet consultant, his mission is to help businesses achieve their goals and objectives through internet solutions. Whether that's building an affordable yet advanced website or doing search engine marketing to get people to your website, or converting those visitors to customers. He can help you create an internet solution specific to your company and needs. He's been kind enough to take the time out of his day today to talk to us about online reputation management. So let's welcome Dennis as I turn the spotlight over to him.
Thank you, Dennis.
Well,
Thank you, Marissa.
Are you going to turn the screen over to me?
I just did.
You
We're
did.
now the host.
Now the host. Okay. Share screen. Okay, you should be seeing my presentation now?
We got it.
Awesome.
All right.
I don't know if you want to make it take up the whole screen, Dennis.
There we go.
There you go. Perfect.
All right. Okay, well, thank you all for coming today, and thanks, Marissa, for the introduction, and thank you very much to the Sahegan Valley Chamber of Commerce for having me today. Okay, I'm just going to straighten out my screen here. All right, so reviews, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and what to do about it. All right, so first of all, just a quick definition for review management. Review management sometimes is referred to as reputation management, but really there's far more to reputation management than just reviews. I'll go over that a little bit. But in general, the whole goal of review management is attempting to shape public perception of a business or of a person, an organization, through reviews. All right, so here's what we'll discuss today. Why are reviews important besides the obvious? Where do reviews get posted? And I think you'll probably be surprised at how many places post reviews, how many platforms. How to deal with a bad review. This is the question I get the most from clients and other businesses when I talk with them about reviews. How to get more good reviews, and the purpose of a review management system. It's an online application. It helps you execute a review strategy. We'll go over that at the end. All right, so this is the universe of the internet. This is what an internet presence should be. It was a time when a nicely designed website was just about all you needed as a business. But today, what you see here is what the internet presence is comprised of. A website is only one small part of this universe. And now it's not only the website, but learning about the personas of the people who visit your website, the various social media platforms that are required for a business, search engine optimization, local search optimization, pay-per-click advertising, email marketing, content blog creation, and more. Now, I don't expect you to read all of this and see all of this. This is just to give you a sense of what's really going on out there. And we're only going to be talking today about a small portion of the social and reputation management. It's just, there's more to reputation management than just reviews. That's the key. All right? Let's see here. All right. So why are reviews so important? The obvious. Sometimes I have business owners ask me, do potential clients really care about what's being said about us online? And the simple and obvious answer, to me at least, is of course they do. We all know that good reviews are better than bad reviews, and we all want a good reputation online. But sometimes we get a bad review, warranted or not. And who here, and I can't see everybody's picture the way this is set up, but I would think that if I asked you right now who looks at reviews before they buy a product or service, I think all hands would go up here. In the past, not too many years ago, I would give this presentation and not as many hands would go up. But today, just about everybody does. Even if we get a referral from another business, we tend to still go online and still look to see what kind of reviews a company has. So there was a time okay, but right now, there's no doubt that customer reviews have a real impact in our ability to get clients or not get clients online. But not so obvious is that having no reviews or few reviews online may just be as negative. Potential customers wonder why there are no reviews online. So it's important to get them. People will leave negative comments about even the smallest things that bother them, and usually the first place they head to do so will be online. Sometimes it's not what you know about your reviews, but what you don't that matters. You could be losing out on potential customers, and you might not even realize it because of your bad online reputation. You might know that you have 50 good reviews on Google My Business, and that's wonderful. But then, just before closing a deal, a potential customer sees a 1-star review on Yelp or another platform, and you didn't even know that that existed. What you don't know sinks that sale. And not so obviously, but very, very important, is that reviews are one of the main criteria for Google local search results. All right, so here we see a search on flooring, Milford, New Hampshire. Cardozo flooring appears first in the local search results. See that right at the very top. That's called the local search pack in my world. And essentially what that means is that Google will put up local businesses when you're looking locally for something. Notice that Cardozo has 81 Google reviews equaling a 4.9 rating, 4.9 star rating. This is what puts them at the top of that list. You can also see down below that they come to the top of what is called organic search results. Google, it's estimated that Google has 200 criteria for organic results, but reviews are in the top 10. Having good reviews helps you not only in the local search that you see there, but also in the organic search that's at the bottom. So this is why it's so very important to have a lot of good reviews. And just, you know, I'm in this world, so I know what I'm talking about, but I think that everybody else does. Just in case you don't know, this is Google My Business. Google My Business is incredibly important, and everybody should make sure that their business is claimed on Google My Business. All you need to do is search the name of a business, and this is what you see on the right-hand side of the search when you're searching on the name of a business. All right? And it also shows up on Google Maps. I don't know if you noticed or not, but now, you know, I started putting this review or this presentation together a while ago. Cardozo only had 81 reviews. Now they're already up to 83 reviews, all 5-star reviews, except for a couple of small ones that weren't. So that's a very important thing to get across there. Google My Business. Make sure you claim the listing, you control it, or your webmaster does, like I do for most of my clients. All right, so where do reviews get posted? This is a very important thing to know. And how do we monitor what is being said about us online? So these are some of the more important places that reviews are posted, but there are numerous industry-specific websites as well. So depending on your industry, you should make sure you look for those as well. But Google My Business, Amazon, Bing, Facebook, Yelp, Better Business Bureau, those are the top ones that are out there, and very, very important to understand what's going on there. Some of the rest of these, Angie's List, by the way, it's going to change its name next week to Angie. No E, no list, just Angie. Just read about that today. But Angie's List, House, TripAdvisor, and even the Yellow Pages and Super Pages is still out there online. Manta, you may all belong to Manta, Merchant Circle, City Search. Those are some of the others that are important. Now, knowing where you stand is the best starting point for reviews. If there's anything that needs to be improved on your online reputation, you've got to find out about it. Visiting all of these sites and industry-specific sites that may exist and doing a search on your business name is the first thing to do. You may have a 5-star rating on Google My Business, but a 3-star rating on Yelp, and a lot of people do. Yelp is a place where people like to go and put negative reviews, I find. It may surprise you. You may not even know that you have negative reviews on Yelp, but other people do. And other people do use Yelp and other platforms to see about businesses. Understanding this will allow you to take the action that's needed. And what is the action that's needed? How to deal with a bad review? First of all, you need to know that they're there, right? That's why you've got to visit these sites. You need to claim your profile listing on these review sites in order to respond to them. You want to be able to respond to them. Now, more often than not, you cannot get a negative review removed from one of these platforms, even if it's not warranted. Now, if you're confident that there's a negative review up there that's been falsely written, say by a business competitor, you're well within your rights to flag the comment and try to contact the review site's administrator if possible and ask for it to be removed. That's provided if you can prove that it's a false review. Again, you can try this, but there's no guarantee that it'll be taken down. Now, just this week, Google My Business announced that they're going to be providing a way for you to flag negative reviews and say why, give you an opportunity to prove your point, and then track whether and what's going on with it. You know, it took me a year to get a negative review down for a client of mine, and I had a phone number to call Google up on. I don't have that phone number anymore. They've even taken it away from the webmasters. They were getting too many calls, so they're trying to automate this. That's another reason why Google My Business is so important for you to control and be on. You can respond right there to negative reviews. But your goal should be to have more positive reviews than negative reviews. That's the key. So, just as an example, recently a business owner asked me what to do about 2 bad 1-star reviews they received on just one of their locations on Facebook. They had no other reviews. And this was my response. The very first thing to do is address it. Respond with an apology, if warranted, and say how you fixed their problem. Ask them to give you another chance. You want to show people who might read this that you want to do what you can to get it right. Secondly, you need to get some good reviews to counteract the bad ones. Ask your happy customers to give you reviews on that Facebook page, even telling them that you had a couple of bad reviews, but you wanted people to hear another side of the story. You may also want to post occasionally a recent 5-star review from Google My Business or another review platform and let people know about these reviews. This company actually had 42 5-star reviews on Google My Business. Not one of them was less than 5 stars. And yet, here's this Facebook page where people are going to be reading 1-star reviews, and there were no other reviews on that Facebook page. So how are people reading that Facebook page going to know about this company other than based on these 1-star reviews? Not very good. But here are the things that you really need to do. Respond to all your reviews, if possible, even the good ones. that shows that you're actively involved in interacting with your customers. You're paying attention. That's very key. But if you can't spend the time responding to all the reviews, be certain to respond to the negative reviews. Don't let it just sit there. Put something up, say something.
Excuse me, I think your visuals aren't changing.
My visuals aren't
I
changing?
think you're 2 screens back.
Really? Wow.
Unless there's something wrong on my end, but I'm still looking at your goal should be to have more recent positive reviews.
Yes, that's right. That's where I'm still at. That's where I'm still at.
Oh, you said so many things I wanted.
Right now I'm just talking.
Well, what you're talking about is very informative.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Thank you.
All right. But so just getting back to responding to reviews, that's what I was really trying to get to, just go through the list of things that you should really do. All right. It's not on the slide itself. So if you can't respond to all reviews, make sure you respond to negative reviews. Then point people to other review sites where you might predominantly have 5-star reviews. Let them know about it. Let them understand that. But most importantly, and this is it, you've really got to work on getting more good reviews. Good reviews will push the negative reviews down. If you look at Google My Business, Yelp, Facebook, all of these review platforms, they list things based on the date, on time. So by getting new reviews that are good, it's pushing those other reviews down. We only have a certain size screen, and unless people scroll down, and these days most people don't scroll down very far, they'll start seeing the good reviews. Those 5-star reviews will start averaging out the 1 to 3-star reviews so that eventually you'll get to a 4+ rating on these websites. Newer 5-star reviews will also improve a visitor's perception of your business. In their mind, if they see a 3-star review from a year ago and 25-star reviews just over the past year, they'll assume you've improved your product, service, or customer relations. Very, very important. Now, for some reason, there we go. All right, so how to get more good reviews. You've got to take a proactive approach to how your business is viewed by others, namely by your customers, obviously. If a customer has just had a wonderful experience with your company, ask them to give you a review. People are much more inclined to give negative reviews, but if you're happy about a situation, even though you may say in your mind, boy, I'd like to give this person a good review, you'll probably let it slide. If it's a negative review, you probably will not let it slide. You will actually post that negative review. You're that upset about what happened. So you've got to ask. You've got to be proactive in this. Preferably ask them, whoop, see that? There you go. Yeah. Wrong. Okay. Preferably ask them to give you a review on a site that has negative reviews. That's the way you'll push it down. That's the way you'll get that average changing. But if not on any specific place, try to get them to give you a review on Google My Business. Again, reviews are great on Google My Business. Having positive reviews are there, but this is for that local search, that search engine optimization. That's really going to help you from that perspective, as well as just the perception of your company in terms of those reviews. Now, try to get reviews published as regularly as possible. Try to have it happening fairly frequently. Don't let a year go by. Don't let even if it's a 5-star review, be the last review you got a year ago. You need to try to do this on a regular basis, just like blogging should be done on a regular basis, just like posting on Facebook or any of the social media sites should be done on a regular basis, so people see that you're still engaged and you're still active. Now, a lot of businesses are on site with their customers. What I recommend is leave a card behind, a physical card, saying thank you, and on that card, please give us a review and list the URL of the platforms you want them to go to. You can actually find the URL for Google My Business, for Yelp, for where to get the reviews, and just put that on that card. If you're not able to leave a card behind, make sure that you send out an email as soon as you get back to the office or a day or two later to ask them to give you a review. And again, put the links in the email. Make it easy for people to do this. Thank them for their business, and they're much more likely to leave a good review. All right, so there's one thing you ought to know about Google My Business and reviews there, and that is you need a Google account to post a review on Google My Business. Now that could be Gmail, Google Photos, Google News, Google Analytics, Google Ads, but some folks don't have that login information, so they won't be able to leave a review there. You want to encourage them to do it if you can, but if not, there are those other places where they can leave reviews. Facebook today, just about everybody's on Facebook at one point or another. We all decide to take breaks from it now and again, but most people, or a lot of people, are there. So always make sure that if you can't get it on Google My Business, do it on Facebook. Facebook, by the way, does not help search engine optimization, or very, very little. That's not the purpose of Facebook. But again, today, especially with us all being at home, we spend a lot more time probably on Facebook than we ought to. All right, so got that covered. Now, here's the purpose of a review management system. There are many of these available today. This is an application that's online, that's on your computer desktop. A review management system allows you to keep up to date with what's being said about your business on multiple review platforms. It should provide a dashboard that contains all the review sites in your industry in one place. It should allow you to respond to those reviews from within that dashboard. It should allow you, at least to some degree, to automate the emails that go out to your clients, out to your customers, asking for a review. And if they don't respond, it should be automated that they get another email within 3 days, another email maybe within a week, not too long. You don't want to wait a year, but just a few days, that would be the time to do it. It should automatically report reviews to you via email or by text, so you can respond quickly. So you know right away somebody's left a bad review. Respond to it immediately. Don't let it fester. Don't let it sit there. And ideally, it will push positive reviews out to social media, just on a periodic basis. You don't want everything going there, but just periodically, a good 5-star review going out to the social media sites would be a good thing to do. And lastly, it should provide what are called widgets. These are small pieces of website code that you put on your website so your reviews can go onto your website automatically, seen as they're coming up. And you can usually control this so that only 4- and 5-star reviews go up to the website. All right, so here are the 4 main tasks of an effective review management. I'm saying this because, as I said, there are a lot of review systems out there. I use one called Reputation, CRM.com, but there's Reputation.com, Reputation Defender. There's quite a few of them out there, and it's worthwhile going and looking at various ones to see they perform these things. Review monitoring. It finds reviews and comments on all the platforms that are out there, so you can stay in the loop to what's being said about you online, right there on one page on your screen. So you don't have to go bouncing around to all of those review sites. Who's going to do that on a daily basis? You can't. But this is something that you can bring up on your computer in one day, in the beginning of the day. Take a look at what reviews are there, and respond to them, do a little bit of work and analysis. Review management, being able to respond to those reviews. That's very, very important in my opinion. If somebody sees that you're engaged, thanking them for a good review, telling them why they had a negative experience and what they're doing to fix it, very, very important. And that should all be on a single dashboard. Review marketing. This is a way to magnify positive customer feedback by posting out to social media, as I said, to get that out there beyond just that review platform. And review generation, increasing the reviews that you get through an automated emailing system to get those extra reviews. You've seen how there are the multiple websites where people can leave reviews. We don't have the time to go to all of them on our own, but our review management system allows you to see this, and that's its greatest benefit. I'm going to show you, if I can figure out how to do this. This is a review management system, the one that I use. And I'm just going to show you a couple of things real quickly, just so you get a general idea. This is a dashboard that covers quite a bit of information. I'm going to go into the company. It's Cardoza. Cardoza gave me the permission to do this, so I don't feel bad about doing this. I just want to show you a couple of things. Here are the review sites. Now, we've set this up all in advance for Cardoza when we put them on here. You'll see that we've got 4 main sites where they have reviews, are getting reviews already. You see their ratings that they're getting, 4.9 on Google, 5 on Houzz, 4.3 on HomeAdvisor, 4.5 on Yelp. But you see we have all of these other platforms, no reviews. That's okay. We don't want reviews all over the place unless they're 5-star reviews. But here's the thing. What happens if tomorrow somebody goes to Better Business Bureau, where people tend to leave negative reviews because they think Better Business Bureau is going to go out and fix it for them somehow? What if tomorrow Cardoza gets a negative review on Better Business Bureau and doesn't know about it? Now, because Cardoza is in here looking at their reviews every day and getting emails saying that they've gotten a review, they'll be able to come in here right away and see that review. One of the things you do is you go in and you put your customers in, and it sends out, I should have really shown you this first. It goes out and does this, the automated email. Let me just show you that real quick. It's under notifications, because these are the notifications that will go out to a company. My screen just go black on you? Yeah, okay. All right, so down here are the emails. So down here you can structure an entire email with the links to all the review sites that you want. You can change this entirely. You write your own email, but there is some codes in there that pull certain things in. And once you put a customer's name in there, in that customer list that I just showed you, it'll send it out right away today. But if they didn't submit a review, it'll send another reminder out in 3 days, and you can set that up to whenever you want. And then it'll send out a third email in any amount of time that you want. I'm going to just show you the review section of this. So now these are all the reviews that Cardoza has recently gotten. So the last one was March 11th, 5-star review. Notice here, tells you that it's on Google. You could report the review. If it's a negative review, this gives you access to, as long as you have login, and I mentioned you want to make sure on all of these review sites, you get login permission. If you have that login permission, we set it up so that you can log directly in through this, report this review, and hopefully they'll do something about it. As I said, very difficult, but report it if it's not correct. But even more important, you can respond on the platform. And you could do this on any platform that's out there. You notice there are a lot of Google reviews. This We Love Reviews here, this is, I'll show you, switch to another screen. This is actually, this reputation system as a way for you to put reviews in their system. So in case they don't have a Google login information and they don't know anything about Better Business Bureau or Yelp, they have a place to still leave that review. And here we go. So this is Cardozo. A couple of things I want to show you. I mentioned those widgets, the code that you put on your website. So what you see over here on the side, and this is on every single page of the Cardozo website, it's scrolling the most recent reviews back and forth, showing, and again, we said that we only want 5-star reviews in this particular case. And so they're seeing the reviews. They can click on something to see the full reviews here. And not only that, but we have an entire page with all the reviews that they've gotten through the system. Here's where they would post the reviews. This is on the site. This is, again, that widget, that code that they give you. So a client or a customer can come in here and post the review, and you give them a link to this page. But if they can, they go to Google. Here it shows a distribution of the ratings on the webs in various places that the reviews have been being left. Go further down, you allow them to follow you on Facebook, YouTube, whichever social media sites you use, or if you don't use social media sites, you don't have to have this. But gaining followers as a business is a very important thing to do on social media sites. So it's a great tool to have where they can go and like your site or follow your site, follow your business. This shows all the profiles of various places that they can go and see that, Cardozo flooring is listed down there. There's an overall rating, review distribution. Notice in this particular review, this is on We Love Reviews. This is the application, the reputation management. You could even set it up so that they can give you star ratings on various areas. So this tool will help you improve your customer service, and your customers see this. Over here, you notice they got some 4-star reviews. Well, something that you've got to work on, or something that you have to explain in response to that review. Okay? And that's pretty much it. Any questions?
I have a question.
Okay.
On that review that you just had up there, that was primarily 5 stars, but within it, a couple of 4s. Would you respond to that? Or, I still think overall it was really good and the write-up was lovely.
Yes. This is an opinion, okay? It may not be the right opinion. And that is that it's good to respond to everything. And the reason it's good to respond to everything is that the clients then see you interacting with them. You're engaged. The internet has made marketing very, very different than it was in the past. In the past, it was passive. You had no interaction with a company. You'd see an ad in the newspaper, you'd go out and buy it, or not. It was blasted out all over the place. Now, it's very personal. All of these things are very, very personal. So, responding to a customer is just like talking to them on the phone and just saying something to them. You might want to engage them. You may not, say specifically what went wrong in that case. You may even just call them on the phone, since they are a customer of yours, and say, well, how come you didn't think we were very knowledgeable? What did we get wrong? And again, this is a way to improve your business.
Good point. I do want to share, I just bought a car, and I in general hate buying cars. I don't like anything about, I've had really, just not a good experience. But the last guy we bought the car from was such an awesome experience. We've actually bought quite a few at this point. So I was saying, hey, thanks again, really great experience. I said, if you move to another kind of car, I'll probably buy whatever the car is because the experience is that good. So he said to me, will you please write a review on, and he gave me a couple of car ones. And I never would have done it had he not asked.
Had he not asked.
So I took that for myself, for my organization. we need to ask more people. There's a lot of love for our organization, and I'm sure there are certainly times when there's not as well, which I've seen in some reviews, but you need to ask. People probably won't do it if you don't ask them. It made me feel good that I could help him. I'm not going to tip him for buying a car from him. Like, there's nothing I can do for him, but writing a review will help him, and if you didn't ask, it wouldn't have happened.
It wouldn't have happened. Yeah. Calls to action. Calls to action really work. When it's a psychological thing. When you ask for something, it's much more likely that you get an answer. If you don't ask, you may never get that answer. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Okay.
There's a controversial subject, which is, I work for an organization. We're a service organization. We don't have a lot of reviews, let's say on our employment site, Indeed. So I've asked my staff, hey, all my staff, please go on Indeed, talk about, your job and what you think of the organization. I'm not telling them to leave a good review, just saying go on there. And I had a colleague of mine say, well, I think that's unethical. What's your view on that?
Well, not for Indeed, right? Indeed is an employment site, right? It's meant to help you get new employees. So I don't think that's unethical at all to put reviews. The people should know that I'm an employer of this organization, and I think they're the best company in the world to work for, or the worst, depending on their opinion. But that's not unethical. What is definitely unethical, and don't do it, because if you get caught, you're in a lot of pain after this, and that is, don't have your employees post reviews for your company on Google My Business or any other platform like that. If Google catches you out on that, they put you to the bottom of the pile, and you'll never rise up again. Believe me, I've seen it happen. So you don't want phony reviews. You want verified, good reviews. You want customers to feel good about it, that these reviews are real. And you can kind of tell, sort of, and it's a nefarious kind of thing that has happened in the past. Google really tries to make sure reviews are legitimate, and if they catch you doing this sort of thing, and they know where you live, so you got to be careful that an employee is not giving you a review from the computer that the Google My Business is being run on. So that's unethical, in my opinion, and I never recommend that. Asking customers, never unethical, and in your case with Indeed, because it's an employee site, I think that would be okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Yes.
Yes, Dennis, in your experience, does Google My Business ever try to contact you by phone, by recorded message? Okay.
No.
Because I get those all the time.
I get them.
Yeah.
I get them.
And one time I clicked through, long time ago, and they wanted to sell me internet advertising or something. But
no, those are scams.
Good to know.
They're not, they're scammy. They may be legitimate companies, and and
but
they
they're not
say
Google.
that. They're not Google though. They're not Google, but they help people with Google. Sometimes they come across very spammy. Sometimes they come across a little bit more legitimate than that. Oh, we noticed you're not up on Google My Business. That sort of thing. But I screen all my phone calls because of that.
Yeah. And, the ones that I'm on their list, they really sort of identify, they outright basically say they are Google My Business. So.
Right. I recommend.
I always wonder.
Yeah, I recommend not clicking through on any of those and not answering that call. Yes. Good.
So is there a downside to leaving reviews? I have not done a lot of reviews. I've been asked a few times, and in some cases the people deserve positive feedback, but my own reputation management, I'm thinking I just don't want to be out there saying that the guys at Tire Warehouse were great when, you know, there's a lot of bad reviews actually for Tire Warehouse. Like maybe they aren't so great, and there I am saying they're great, and I don't know. It makes me nervous, and that could be my age.
Well, you know, it's a really big topic, right? Privacy in a way too, right? You don't want to be out there as much. I don't personally feel that there's any negative side to leaving reviews, especially for a business that did well by you and has some bad reviews. You know, it's a balancing act. There's an old saying that 80% of statistics are made up on the spot. I just made that one up, right? But like 80%, in the old days, they used to say 80% of reviews will always be bad. People are much more likely to leave a bad review than they are ever likely to leave a good review. It's just the nature of us. You know, I've been to restaurants where I loved it, I left, and I'm a reviewer. I do like to give reviews. Loved the restaurant, it was great. I wanted to give them a review, and it slipped my mind, and then a day went by, 2 days, and I never left that review. But I'll tell you, if I had a bad experience at a restaurant, and it was really bad, it has to be really bad for me to leave a negative review, I would, because I want other people to know. You know, if you go in there, be careful. But if I left that bad review and they changed, I want them to know that too. I want other people to go in there and say that I was wrong, that I had a bad day, and they're actually a great company. So we help other businesses by giving them reviews. And because we're all in business ourselves, I think it makes sense to want to leave good reviews for people. Yes, ma'am.
So as a chamber executive, it really steams me when I go on a Facebook community page and someone has left a scathing, very personal ripping of a business, and then other people either attack that person or agree with that person. How do you manage something like that when, you know, you've got a moderator that lives in the town? And I just, from a Chamber of Commerce perspective, I see people fight on Facebook about businesses and schools and on all these bad reviews. I'm like, why, as a person looking to buy a house in your town, would I ever want to live there looking at your community's Facebook page?
Yeah,
it just drives me insane.
I see the same exact thing on the community pages that I'm on. I love the community page, and politics gets involved, even though they say don't talk politics. And you start, you know, depending on which side of the fence you're on, you see these amount of people on that side of the fence, these amount of people on this side of the fence. Hopefully it balances out, and that's kind of why I was saying it's always good to leave a good review, even if you've seen bad reviews about a company. We need, in our whole society, not only for businesses, we need balance back. And the only way we're going to get balance back is if people are able to talk about both sides of the subject.
And a lot of times the restaurant owner, I'm sorry, you're delayed on me, so I thought you'd stop. I'm so sorry. A lot of times the restaurant owner or the business will respond and say, I'm so sorry you had a bad experience, like you were saying before, but I just feel terrible for the business when that happens. I personally have never left a bad review on anything, mainly because I'm sensitive that maybe they had an off day. Yeah. That's my chamber brain. But I do see the benefit to both.
Yeah, and I agree. I have to be really upset to leave a bad review. I'd rather not leave a 3-star review because they were middling. I don't care if they're middling, you know, I only care if they're great or horrible. And that's the way I look at it.
I have a little something else to share. I just received a Little Free Library as a gift from my daughter and her husband. They built me one, and I registered with the organization Little Free Libraries. And I wanted to get on their map, so I had to register with Google to do that. And I sent, and it's been a microcosm of this whole thing on a very personal level, and it's totally meaningless. It's just fun for me. But I put a ton of pictures, and I put a story and all that. And I had some of my friends that donated books. I said, would you consider doing a Google review of my Little Free Library? Which they did, and because really I want more people to find it. That's why I'm on the map and all of that. And another thing I wanted to, for social media, on Instagram, I wanted to be able to be a site there. So I could be, when I posted, it was from the location of my little free library. But it's been so fun to dive into this on a very micro level. And I'm not going to hurt anybody, and I don't have to go up a whole pecking order to get approval because it's my little library. So I could do it. It's been fun.
Oh, that's nice. That's great. Any other questions?
No, this has been great. Very
I have
informative.
a funny thing to share, Woody. This is really quick, but we did a campaign, an internal campaign to beef up our Google reviews where I work, and we got dozens and dozens and dozens. When you start asking for them, you ask, you shall receive, like you said. But so we started reading them while people are waiting, sort of like the mean tweets on Jimmy Kimmel, is it?
Uh-huh.
So when you call us, you'll hear some of our Google reviews read while you're waiting. And they're very interesting, actually, and very informative and specific. You know, they talk about our product line quite, you know.
What a great idea.
Thank you.
That's a
And we
fabulous
made
idea.
employees read them, so they're not professional quality, but,
Yeah.
you know, we did our best. But so you get to hear voices that are not slick.
Excellent.
Yeah. Just
like
sharing.
What?
Does anyone else have any questions?
Anyone else?
Well, this has been a fantastic webinar, Dennis. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your
And I
time.
love how it just, you know, spurs on so many other ideas for the rest of us that come to mind just from this presentation. I'm thinking, oh, we should do this and this and this. So it's going to live on in eternity on when we put the recording on YouTube and share it with everyone. So really appreciate it.
Great. Well, let me know.
We will. We'll send you a copy too.
All righty.
Dennis,
Thank you.